Millions of Americans have already voted in early voting, and we're just days away from tens of millions of Americans voting on Election Day. And we're honored to have both AMAC CEO Rebecca Weber and Vice President of AMAC Action, Andy Mangione, here today to talk about why your vote is so important, and most importantly, what Donald Trump has done for seniors. Andy, I really want to talk about what the president has done, and this deals with an issue that so many seniors are having to deal with right now, and that is COVID-19. The president has used the power of the White House, the government, to do everything that he can to protect seniors. Let's start with that.
Glad to, Ben. The president has protected seniors throughout this pandemic by providing important therapeutics for them should they contract the virus. He's also ensuring that seniors receive the vaccine once it's developed free of charge. So they will have access to this vaccine once it becomes available, and it won't cost them a dime. He's also lowered Medicare Advantage premiums throughout the country. We're in the throes right now of the annual enrollment period, so this is very timely information. Medicare Advantage premiums throughout the country have been lowered thanks to President Trump. He's also reduced the cost of prescription drugs, including insulin, and he's ordered hospital price transparency that will further lower costs for America's seniors.
Let's talk about something else the president's done, and that is trying to protect seniors really from being victims of scams, scam artists, people that call and trying to take their money. This is a multi-billion-dollar issue in this country every year where seniors are taken advantage of, and that's something the president has really done to try to protect seniors in this nation.
Seniors worked hard throughout their lives to save their money, and they deserve a well-rested retirement, a well-funded retirement. And what the president's done is a crackdown on fraudulent robocalls that prey on seniors to get them to invest their life savings into bogus investments and products.
You know, that's something that affected my family, where we found out, unfortunately, too late, that one of my grandparents was taken advantage of and was giving money to fraudulent people that were calling, saying they had these great charities, and they drained their bank account. And it was so sad to see. And once that money's gone, it really is gone. There's something else that the president has also done, and that is really trying to protect families and the family structure. The president's a realist. He understands that there are so many grandparents in this country that are raising their grandchildren, and he wants to make it easier for them to accomplish this as well.
Well, some grandparents and some older Americans do find themselves raising their grandchildren. And one of the promises of the president's pillars to protect America's seniors includes much needed relief for those seniors who find themselves raising their grandchildren.
You know, Alzheimer relief has been something that the president has been focusing on really since day one, and not just giving lip service, but actually trying to use our tax dollars in a positive way when it comes to research into fighting this disease that affects so many Americans. And that is something that he has continued to focus on, especially if he gets a second term.
Absolutely. He's already invested heavily into research to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. There's not anybody that you know or that I know who doesn't have personal experience with Alzheimer's disease or knows someone who's dealing with a relative afflicted by this horrible disease.
You know, the president, you talk about his protection of life, and that obviously deals with seniors. But, Rebecca, I want to talk about an issue that's one of the top issues for AMAC members that we hear from day in and day out. And this has been consistent for more than a decade, and that is the sanctity of life and protecting the sanctity of life. This president promised when he was running in 2016 that if you elect me, I am going to protect the unborn. He has never stopped doing that. We are seeing the Supreme Court fight right now for Judge Barrett, and the left is terrified that she is going to protect life. Let's talk about the president's commitment to life of the unborn as well.
Thank you so much, Ben. AMAC and our membership are very much pro-life from conception. And we have a president who has kept his promises. He's boldly stated that he is a pro-life president. Under a Biden presidency, we can kiss goodbye any legislation that is currently out there that's protecting life. For example, AMAC is standing strongly in support of legislation to the thanks of Senator Sass and Congresswoman Wagner, the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protections Act. And this act, what it does essentially is if a baby is born alive, and we're talking oftentimes this happens in that third trimester, that baby will be given the tools the doctors will need to save that baby's life if born alive. I find it very anti-American for someone running for president who says that we care about life, but we're going to turn a blind eye to infant babies that are born alive from botched abortions. AMAC's 2.2 million members make all of these things possible. When we go to Washington and we say that we have 2.2, almost 2.3 million members, people need to listen. So I encourage folks to tell people about who AMAC is, what we're doing. We're protecting seniors, but we're also looking out for all Americans, including the most vulnerable.
You know, I remind everybody watching this today, you and I have talked about this, obviously off air, but you got to look at the vice presidential candidate in Kamala Harris. This is an individual on the record that has actually used the laws when she was in California to attack and arrest pro-life activists that had done nothing wrong to try to silence them. That is how important this election is. That is what we are up against. Rebecca, I really appreciate what you're doing, focusing, like you said, AMAC, not just on seniors issues, but also a commitment to life of every person, including the unborn. And Andy, obviously, what this president's trying to do with protecting seniors, whether it be raising your grandkids, whether it be with Alzheimer's research and prescription drug plans and insulin, this president is clearly committed to seniors' issues and is going to do this for another 4 years if we get him reelected.
Absolutely, Ben.
Ben, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys coming on. That's it for the special edition of AMAC Weekly News. A very important reminder to everyone, do not forget to go vote. This election, our country is at stake. And right now, it is time for us to stand up and fight for what we believe in. Also, please make sure you share this video with your family and friends. And if you have not joined AMAC or renewed your membership, it is more important now than ever before. So make sure you join AMAC or renew that membership right now so we can continue to fight together to protect freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and make sure that the media is not more powerful than the President of the United States of America. I'm Ben Ferguson, and I'll see you next week for our next episode.